Welcome everyone to NCEES Do You Know tips for 23-24. The purpose of this is do you know what you don't know? And in this session, participants are going to learn tips that they can use to help timely processing within NCEES on the My Staff page, the staff evaluation page, and learn about professional development. And we'll do troubleshooting tips all along the way and more. And this target audience for this is for NCEES system managers and administrators. Everyone else is welcome to attend, but this is geared more towards those who do manage the system. And like I said, Cammie will continue to put the link in the chat. My name is Donna Curry, and effective this week, I am the new NCEES and OER product manager. My contact information is there. I will let Cammie introduce herself now.
Hi, I'm Cammie Nairn. I'm on the home base team. Recently the NCEES product manager. I am moving over to be assistant PowerSchool SIS product manager. So I will introduce Jennifer and let her introduce herself, who also works with NCEES.
Good afternoon. As Cammie said, I'm Jennifer Bass, and I work in the Standards and Evaluation Division, and I am the NCEES coordinator. I work very closely with these ladies, and if you have any questions about policy for NCEES, I'm the person that you contact. So thank you for joining.
Okay. And during this transition process, I will be working closely with Cammie through the next few months. And like Jennifer said, if you have any questions about policy, she is your person to go to about those questions. So we are going to go ahead and look at our agenda. So we're going to start today by looking at staff evaluations and all those tips that you can do in staff evaluations. Then we'll navigate to My Staff, administration, staff management, reporting, and professional development. And we will also be sharing some resources with you and some troubleshooting tips to help along the way. So we do, when you go back to this site later, we do have all of the sections linked. So if you want to just, after today, you want to go back and look at just one section, you can just click on that and get to that section. So we're going to start with staff evaluations and how to pin a list of staff. Why would you want to pin a list? So this is going to make it so you can work with just a group of staff and you can focus on that. You can only pin one group at a time. If you want to change your group, you will have to unpin that group and pin another group. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to go to the Staff Evaluations tab. We're going to look at the pins above those staff names. We're going to show that list you just made, but then you can show all to return back. If after today you would like to go back, there is a video here that you can go back and watch where we do have these steps listed in a video. So that'll be there for you to reference later. But why would you want to pin a list? Well, this is maybe you want to look at just beginning teachers and you have that list of those beginning teachers. Maybe you have residency teachers that you want to focus on, or just staff of a certain plan type. So maybe you have ITFs, or maybe you have a certain group in your district that you need to work with. Staff have both evaluation and PDP plan types that will appear when you do pin that staff. So you'll probably see most of those names twice unless they're in an administrative AP principal role. So what are we going to do to list? This is just a screenshot that you're getting ready to see. So we will navigate to staff evaluations at the top tab. We're going to look at the evaluation participation dashboard. We're going to look at maybe adding those filters and then clicking those pins above those names. So let's look at this in our platform. So as you are in PowerSchool, and I didn't say this ahead of time, but if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to type them in the chat. At the end of the session, we will turn microphones on if anybody does have questions so that they can ask those questions if they would like. But anyway, so like I said, from the NCEES home screen, you are going to navigate to staff evaluations. And from staff evaluations, when you look at your list, you're going to see that you do have these different pins. You might not have noticed them before. You'll notice here that if I pin one person, I notice that 2 pins turned down. That's because this person does have a plan and they have a PDP type. So once you do pin their name, it will appear for both. You'll also notice that you can pin other names as well if you would like to. And then after you pin the names that you would like, you can click Show My List. And then just those people that you pinned were listed. So like I said, if you wanted to go through and just look at just your beginning teachers, if you just wanted to look at those career status teachers or whatever teachers you wanted to look at, you could pin that list. To get back to everyone, you would just go back to Show All. and then that list would all come back. If you want to change the group, you would just need to click the little pin to unpin, and then that would allow you to make a new group. So in addition to pinning that way, you can also click on the 3 lines. You can look at different type plans. So maybe you just wanted to look at those who have an abbreviated plan, and then you could pin them from here as well. So anywhere you see a pin on the screen, you can pin those plan types. Like I said, if later on you would like to go back and review how to do that, there is a video here that does show you those steps and how to do that. And Cami or Jennifer, any
group of staff to work with their plans.
Oh, excuse me. And if at any time, Cami or Jennifer, someone puts a message in the chat, just please let me know, and I'll go back and review anything that I need to.
Okay.
Thank y'all. So the next thing we want to look at is how would you email your staff from the staff evaluations page. Once again, there is a video on this slide, so if after today you would like to go back and review those steps, you can do that. And why would you need to do that? So the purpose is to quickly email a group or group within that staff evaluations tab. To do this, you would navigate to staff evaluations tab. You can use filters if you would like, and we'll look at those filters in just a second because I did not on the last screen. You can select boxes to individually, manually pick and choose a few staff members, or you can message all. And so you might want to do this to remind staff members that due dates are coming up, or maybe certain things need to be done, or maybe they haven't completed something or signed off. This is a quick from this page that you can do this. And you can choose to whether email, or you can just choose to have it notification, which will appear in that mailbox on your screen. So you can do both of those. And so when you're in here again, just you would navigate to staff evaluations. From the evaluation participation dashboard, you can look at
Donna,
yes.
We're not seeing your screen.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
Oh, you're still on the slide. I thought you went live. Sorry.
No, not yet. Sorry.
My fault. Sorry.
It's fine. So you'll have that evaluation participation channel, and then you're going to look at those check boxes. So let's go ahead and look at that from our site. So once again, when you are in NCEES from your home screen, you're just going to want to navigate to staff evaluation. And from staff evaluations, you scroll down and you do see your list, and you can check the boxes. And once you check the boxes, you'll have the option to send a message, or once again, you can message all if you would like. So right now I'm just going to send message to this. And when I click here, I know that I can tell who this is going to, and the reason I only see one person is because I clicked on their PDP and their plan. I can type in whatever type of message I would like. I can get this message CC'd to me, but that does not tell me at the time who I sent it to. So just be aware of that, but you can have this message come to you as well. And then you can choose the delivery options if you would like that be sent through email or sent as an announcement. And remember, if it's an announcement, it will appear in their mailbox on the top of their screen. And then when you've typed your message, you can choose when you would like for that to be sent. Okay, any questions so far?
No, but just to clarify, the message all will send to everybody, even if you've only checked a couple boxes, it will send to everybody. So to send to the individuals you checked, make sure you click the message, the single message button.
Yes, because even if you'll see that I just have a couple people checked when I click message all, I can see that it's sent to all users.
Yeah,
So,
and then were you going to show the filters on the page?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in addition, when you were on this screen, I'm just going to uncheck these people. On the right, you will see the add filter icon. So if you would like to filter by any of these, you can filter by active plan. I can look at those plans that are maybe abbreviated. If I want to add another filter, maybe I want to see their where they are in their, let's see, maybe PDP self-assessment, and I want that to be maybe equal to not started, and maybe I can look and see who did not start that PDP. Once you have all the filters you want, you can add many more filters if you'd like. You update your table, and then that's going to update and let you know who in that list in an abbreviated plan maybe hasn't started their plan or something of that nature. So you can look for those filters. You can add as many filters as you would like. So to remove a filter, you would just click the X beside each one. You can update your table after you've removed that filter, and then update your table, and you'll get back to your main list. So once you are in filters, remember you can check those boxes again to remind people if they haven't started something. If they came up as not starting something, you can send them a list. Any more questions about that, Cammie?
Nope, I think we're good. Thanks.
Thank you. Like I said, if you would like to go back later, there is a video here that you can look at that will have those directions for you. So let's look at the staff evaluations, the filter shortcut, and we've looked at filters just a little bit from that screen. There's more details about the filter here, or the members filter, sorry, that's what we'll look at on the slide. So when you are in that plan type, sometimes you are looking at trying to sign off something for every plan type. Maybe you're trying to make sure that you finished the first step of that PDP with everybody, or you're making sure that you have done the abbreviated staff plan and you're just working from those plans, and navigating in and out of the system does take some time. So if you've never clicked on these little people will quickly allow you to navigate to other people with the same plan. So in order to do this, you're going to navigate to the Staff Evaluations tab. You're going to open a plan type to work with. You're going to complete whatever activity you need, and then you're going to click on that little member filter, and it's going to show you everyone that has that plan. And we'll look at that in just a second. But like I said, if you would like to watch this video when we're done, you have that video that you can refer to. This is just a screenshot of what you're going to see when we get in. Remember to navigate to Staff Evaluations. Open that Staff Evaluations tab, complete any of those activities, and then click that member filter icon. So you're looking for those little people icons. So let's go ahead and look at that. So once again, I like to start on the home page just so you know where I'm starting. I'm going to Staff Evaluations, and I am going to look at this Teacher 1, and they are in the late hire plan. So if I click in this plan, I can go in, I can look at any of these activities that I need, can come in and do whatever needs to be done for that activity. Once I'm finished, I just click on that little icon at the top. Actually, in the training account, I only have one person. If there were more people listed here, then I can navigate between the people in this list, and that would be a quick way to go through that plan. And maybe I just want to make sure that everybody with that plan type has training and orientation done. I could see, okay, there's a green check, or I could just go through and maybe sign off on everybody's plans at the same time. So anybody who has that plan type, when you click on this little icon, will appear in that member filter list. So if you haven't checked that little icon out, you might want to just save you some time later so you don't have to keep going back to the Staff Evaluations page to start there. Now on the Staff Evaluation page, we're going to look at the Evaluation Completion Report. And so the purpose of this is to easily report on the staff plan activity, the completion progress, and to show plans that are assigned but even unstarted. So if you're looking at the Staff Evaluations tab, you're going to click on that little graph icon, which is right here. You're going to click on that Evaluation Completion Report, and then you can choose your plan type. Once again, there is a video here, so after today, you're welcome to just go look at that. This is the one plan that shows those who have not started a plan that has one assigned. So that is that one place where you can pull this report. So if someone is not showing up on your screen because they have not started that plan, this will show on this plan. So we can quickly download this report. We can look at it in Excel or Google Sheets, whatever method you would like to look at that. And just to kind of show you again how we're going to get there. So you're going to navigate to Staff Evaluation. You're going to click on that graph icon. You're going to click on the Evaluation Completion Report. You're going to select your plan type, adjust what parameters you want to see. You don't have to look at everything, especially this time of year. You don't need to be looking at the second, third evaluations. And then we can look at that data. So let's go look at that. So once again, if you are just starting in NCEES and you're on the home screen, you'll navigate to Staff Evaluations. From Staff Evaluations, you remember this little graph icon right here. So I'm going to click on that icon, and I'm going to click Evaluation Completion. From Evaluation Completion, I'm going to choose the plan type that I'm looking at. So maybe I'm just going to look at abbreviated. And at this time of year, I really don't need a report that has everything throughout the whole year. So I'm going to navigate to the bottom, and I'm going to deselect. At this point in the year, the only thing I might need is maybe the training and orientation and those things that are part of observation number 1. So I'm just going to check those boxes. And that's all I want to focus on, because right now that's what the things that are relevant to me right now. After you've checked those components that are important to you, you can refresh. And you're going to see now I have this report at the bottom. You can see these think of green is good, blue is in progress, orange is not started. You can open this. Anytime you see a plus, you can open to see more. So I can see what percent. I see that out of the training and orientation, 75% have not finished, 25% is complete. So if you see that plus mark, open it so it can show more. Once again, this is going to narrow it down even more as I get into that observation 1 container. I can look at each part and find out what percent of the pre-observation conferences are done. I can also look at the informal observation, the written response. It's just a quick graph to let you see that. Close that. And then you're going to see you have this color-coded graph at the bottom. If you would like, from this screen, you can click on this little graph, download CSV icon, and that's going to allow you to download this data, and you can open it up in Google Sheets or you can open it in Excel. It will not be color-coded. However, you can use any formatting options that you like to code that data once you get there. So you do have the option to download that as a file that you can open in spreadsheets. Also at the top of your screen, you do have this little icon up here, and that's going to allow you to download this data as a PDF. It won't be filterable, but you can download that to have information of that PDF, and that PDF will be color coded. So if you just want to see the screen as it is and you don't need to manipulate the data, then that PDF option would be a good option for you. Okay. So if you've not looked at that evaluation completion report, that would probably be a very beneficial report to especially look at those who have not started those plans. Come back to our presentation. Okay, and I actually did show you that. So when you were in that tab, we're also going to look at downloading more than just that report. So in staff evaluations, remember you can download that CSV, and that's just comma separated values. It's just the coding and how that information is downloaded. So the purpose here is to easily filter the staff dashboard and then create reports based on that completion progress, so that we can look at that. So let's go ahead and look at that. There is a video here. Remember, you can watch later if you would like to see how to do that. And so when you are on staff evaluations and you are on this screen, you can set any type of filters you would like. And then once you have the filters as you want them, then you can download. And whatever's on your screen is what is going to be downloaded. So if you just want to look at PDPs, or you just want to look at abbreviated plans, whatever you would like, when you do those filters will show. So let's just look at that. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to just kind of refresh my screen so it comes back. So from this screen, we talked about filters, so you can add your filters. So I'm going to add filters, and I just want to look at active plans, and maybe I just want to look at those plans that are equal to comprehensive. So maybe I just want to see, and I don't even know if I have anybody with comprehensive plan in my list. I don't, so let's change that to abbreviated. So I'm going to change that to anybody who has an abbreviated plan. Remember, update your table. You can add as many filters as you'd like to look at, so you can narrow that down even more. But after you have all the filters that you need, from this point, you can download the CSV, and it's only going to download what's on your screen right now. So it is just going to download what you are seeing. So if you just want to look at this data, you can do that. Remember, these filters only last for this session, so the next time you log in, you would have to reset these filters so they do not stick. But when you want the filters to be removed, you can just click the X, update your table, and then your entire staff will come back. Filters will be very beneficial to those of you who work on the district level, or those of you who have very large staff. So remember, it's only going to show what's on your screen at that time, and then you can download it into any spreadsheet, Google Sheets, or Excel, so you can manipulate it as you would like. So let's look at staff evaluations and how to reopen activities. So There is a video here, like I said before, if you would like to look at that. So the purpose of this is staff with reopen rights. Not everyone has reopen rights. Can allow staff to edit completed plan activities. So just note that most NCEES district administrators have reopen rights with the exception of superintendent roles, but they can manually be added back. And so these are people who do have the option to reopen plans. And access to this is limited because of making sure your plans are confidential, making sure your plans are locked when they need to be. But in order to do this, you will navigate to the staff evaluations tab. You will open a staff plan with an activity that needs to be edited. Once you open that activity, it's important to look for those blocks. And this screen is a little different than what we're used to seeing. Make sure you hover over the locks to let you know if those locks are locked or if they need to be unlocked. The locks have to be unlocked before you can reopen any activity. And those reopen activities have to be closed before that lock can be locked again. So just as a reminder, what you're going to look for when you are on this in the evaluation and you are looking at whether that container has been locked, and you can see in this picture right here, let's say this activity was locked, it'll tell you who locked it and when. And if you were to hover over that open lock, when you hover over the open lock, that means it's locked and you would want to unlock it. So you would, and I know that's kind of backwards from what we're used to seeing, but if you hover over that lock, then you can unlock the activity. And then once you unlock the activity, you'll see this little arrow up, so you can reopen those different parts of that plan. But you have to unlock that big container first. After you have reopened, you would need to close the locks, and then you would need to lock the activity back. So let's look at that. And I'm going to stop impersonating for just a second. So as I go to staff evaluations, and as I look, give that a chance to load. Okay, I'm going to look at this PDP plan for this teacher. And I can see now that, open a plan. So let's go open the initial review. And I can see now that this was locked. It was locked by me today. So I can see that, and all of these, I notice individual tasks have locks. So that tells me that these are locked. In order to unlock, you have to unlock the container, which is on the far right. If you hover over, remember that open lock means if you want to unlock it, you have to click on that open lock. And it's going to say you're about to unlock this activity and its associated activities. Are you sure you want to apply the unlock? So when you see boxes pop up, you need to make sure you do read those. So I'm going to click OK, and it's going to tell me everything that's getting ready to be unlocked. So I have the initial review, signatures, the locking activity. So it's going to tell you what's unlocked. So I'm going to close that box. And you'll notice that my screen kind of did a refresh, and all those tiny little locks are gone. You'll even notice now it does not say this activity is locked, and you'll notice it also has that orange circle instead of that green circle with the check now. If you want to reopen any of these containers, you'll just click the arrow up, and that's going to give you the option to reopen edit status. That means that now that container can be unlocked. So who needs to do something, whether it be the teacher or the evaluator, I'm going to unlock that container, and it's going to say you're about to reopen this. It's going to ask you to be certain that's what you want to do. So we're going to click OK, and now I notice that that particular container now is orange. So it's letting me know that it has been reopened, and we can click on this. This item can be looked at, and when the person, whoever's working in this, needs to come in and finish, whenever they're done what they need to be done, they'll click edit, then they can close that reopened activity. So they're going to reclose that activity and click OK. This is going to take me back to my screen. I can see my checks. And then when you are ready, you want to click the lock. If you try to click the lock and you get an error message, that it's going to tell you what's wrong. It's going to tell you why you can't lock it. It might say this activity hasn't been finished. It will tell you what needs to be completed. But if I hover over this lock, it's going to tell me to lock the activity. It doesn't mean it's locked. It means I need to lock it. It's going to say you're about to log this activities. Are you sure you want to apply? And I'm going to click OK. It's going to tell me everything that's going to have a lock. You'll notice right now I don't see any locks. So then when I click yes, you'll notice that now I have all of my locks back, and it'll tell you who it was locked by. So in order to reopen an activity, you have to unlock, and then the activity actually has to be reopened. So there's 2 steps there. So think of like walking into the house and then walking into a room. So kind of think of it that way. Are we still good with that, Cammie, Jennifer? Any questions that you've seen come through about that?
No questions about that. We have some questions about assume identity, but I think we're handling those.
Okay, thank you. And we can address that at the end if we need to. Okay, make sure.
Learn how.
Okay. So the next thing we're going to look at is if someone sees the wrong rubric. So occasionally you will have someone who sees a support staff and they see a teacher standard. So think of a media coordinator, ITF, someone of that nature, and they see a teacher standard come up instead of the correct rubric. They do not have the correct rubric attached to their plan. So what you would need to do is, first of all, you would need to verify that the plan is correct on the staff or the My Staff page. Make sure they have the correct plan assigned to them. If they do have the correct plan assigned to them, then they're going to need to start that plan, but don't complete anything. And then after they start, they can delete. And if the correct plan has been in there overnight, once they delete the wrong rubric, the correct one should appear. And so whoever starts the rubric is the one who does need to delete this. So if this is started in a self-assessment and the teacher started it, they're the ones who would have to start and delete. If this was found when someone was doing an observation, then the evaluator would have to start and then they would have to delete. So whoever started that would be the one who has to delete that. It's going to be very similar whether it be the teacher start or whether it's found during that evaluation. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to look at what that looks like when something is wrong and how to fix that. If you give me 1 second, I've got to get back and assume the identity of, okay. So if this is the teacher and they are in staff, they're in My Evaluation and they are in their PDP and they go to look at their self-assessment and they realize that these are the incorrect, this is the wrong rubric. That doesn't match what they are. So I see teacher here, maybe I'm an ITF, so this is wrong. So in order to fix that, first thing needs to do is whoever assigned the plan types would need to verify that it is correct in My Staff. They do have the correct plan type there. And then if it is correct in the My Staff tab, this person who has the wrong rubric would start new. And they don't need to do anything. They just need to start new and then save and exit. And then from the drop down, they can delete that plan. And if the correct plan type is on the My Staff page, then when they delete, now I'm in a training account, so this is not going to update, but when it flashes and comes back, it would have the correct rubric for them. So if, like I said, whoever starts the plan needs to delete the plan. Same thing when someone is coming to observe someone and they start on that evaluation and they realize that rubric is wrong, they would start, and as long as it's correct on the My Staff screen, once they start and then delete, the correct rubric should populate. Okay, and we get a lot of emails about that towards the beginning of the school year. Any questions so far about
that? No, we did have a question about unlocking. Who can
Okay.
unlock? Usually, and I can go ahead and answer that if you'd like. Usually it is your NCEES lead DA. That's why we ask all districts to choose who your NCEES district administrator is. They are the ones that usually have the reopen rights. There are some exceptions due to people's roles that they may not have reopen, but the majority of NCEES DAs will have those reopen rights. And your district should set some kind of guidance on when something can be reopened and the notification process to notify your DA that something needs to be reopened. And you probably also will be setting that the teacher should be notified, the principal should be notified. It's like changing a student's grade. If you're going to change something that's already set in your evaluation plan, all parties should be notified before you reopen and allow edits to happen.
And that's part of the reason why it is very limited on who can reopen. We good now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let me come back. So what's something that is new that just started this week, and we're very excited about that, is that we know that when you go around and you're having to do observations, those tiny little boxes are so hard to click, especially if you're walking around with a handheld device because you're trying to make it easier as you navigate in and out of classrooms. So in order to improve user experience, now the entire box or all the words are clickable. So if you click any of these words, that box will check. So just to kind of make it so it's kind of like a hotspot, but just to make that easier. So just to be aware that that's the clickable rubric descriptors is going to hopefully help save a lot of time and make it so you're easier for you as you're doing those observations. So that is new just this week. So hopefully as you are doing your observations, maybe some of you noticed that, but you don't have to click in that tiny little box anymore. That whole little section will light up. So we're excited about that. Okay, so now let's talk about if staff evaluations. What happens if you are missing staff? So why don't you see staff on the staff evaluation screen? And how do you know if your staff is missing in NCEES? So we're going to look at this, and the purpose is to learn how to troubleshoot why staff do not appear on the staff evaluations dashboard. And but let's look at this. Staff evaluations only show active plans. Principal plans are going to automatically show up because they're automatically assigned, and they are designated to go ahead and show started status in staff evaluations. This is so the district administrator can assign an evaluator to that principal plan. All other plans, in order for them to appear on the staff evaluations page, they have to start that plan. So they actually physically have to start that blue button to make them active plans. You might not have noticed, but there is actually a little icon up there that shows only started and active plans show on this dashboard. So it might have been something you just looked over, but it does show that. And so who can see the My Staff page? So if they're not there, admins can check My Staff to see if they're there. Not everyone can see My Staff. APs, observers, mentors, view only with admin type. Certain admin types can see My Staff. Principals with site administrators or NCEES lead can see My Staff. Not everyone can see My Staff, but let's go ahead. And once again, there is a video here. If you would like to look at that more later, you can. But we are going to go ahead back to this. And I need to go back to what I was impersonating before. Excuse me. I had to find someone that I could demonstrate having the wrong plan type. Okay, so from staff evaluations, remember you were looking at people on this page, and they are only on this page if they have started their plan type. So just keep in mind that's the only people that you are going to see. Those who do have rights to look at My Staff, if you know that there's someone not on this list that should be, if you click on the My Staff page, and from the My Staff page, you can see that you do have all of these people. These people should appear on your page if they have started their plan. Now, to see if they have started their plan, if you click on All Staff, and then you click the drop-down arrow beside their name, you can see the word Edit, or you can see the word Start. The word Edit means that they are working on that plan and should appear on that page. The word Start means they have not started that plan. And since we're in a training site, you'll see that we have abbreviated comprehensive standard. You won't see all that for your people. But you will notice the word Edit means they have started. The word Start means that they have not started it. Now, if you have access to this page, you can start that plan for them, and they'll appear on that page. But they can always start their plan. So if you have someone not on the staff evaluations page, you might want to check My Staff if you do have rights to that, and that would be a good place to look. Okay, so let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. So to check the staff plan types, I showed you the start and edit. If they were missing, remember you could go back to that My Staff page and you were looking at those plan types. And that was something I did not show you just a second ago. Make sure I show you now. So from this screen, if you see that someone is missing from the plan types, first of all, you can make sure that they have an evaluation type set. So maybe this is a support person. They shouldn't have an evaluation. However, if you have a teacher came in later in the year, you might need to go back and start their plans if you did all this at one time. So if you have a new person, this would be a great place to see if they have something set. When they automatically come in, they are set to come in as not selected, or they are set, except for not support staff. Support staff come in as no. But everyone else is going to either come in with a dash or come in with not selected, and then you can go through and give them that plan type that they need. So remember that principals and AP do not have a PDP, and support staff that's in NCEES, they are not evaluated in NCEES. And by legislature definition, support does not mean media, does not mean ITF. So these are people who are in NCEES that do not have access to the evaluation component, but they might have access to PD, or support certified can be like peer observers or mentors, but they will not be evaluated in NCEES. Okay, let's see. If someone does start a wrong plan, remember a district administrator can deactivate that plan if they have started a wrong plan type or they were assigned something that was wrong to them, a different type of plan type. So that can be done as well. So when you are in My Staff, so we're kind of looking at My Staff now, and I looked at this part of this just a minute ago. So from My Staff, you can look at the My Staff tab. On the left, you'll see that you have a couple of different options. So we can look at options. We can look at the start status of plans. We can look at plan types. We can look at evaluations by plan group. And just to kind of let you know what those icons are when we see them, so one of the options is all staff. And what are you going to see there? So when you navigate to My Staff and you click on all staff, this is where you can use your filters. You can email your staff. You can view whether they've started their plans, and you can navigate to a plan on that page. We're also on that page, you can click on staff details, and this is going to allow you to see the staff plan types again, the user profile. And remember, district administrators can edit that user profile if they need to. And there's certain things we don't recommend editing in there because they do come in with the staff the system import files every night. And then also when you're in My Staff, you have the option to look at those evaluations, and you can filter from that page, and you can archive plans if needed from that page. So we're if you need a video to look at that later, that video is there. And so once we do navigate to the all staff page, remember when you look at all staff, you do have the option to click on that drop down arrow from all staff, and you'll see the system, the start standard evaluations. You'll see that start PD plan. Remember, if you see start, that means they did not start that plan. From staff details, you will be able to click on that drop down arrow and you can look at their user profile. This is where you can see if they maybe have more than one site. You can look at what type user they are. And then from that evaluations tab, you can narrow this down and look at your staff by just a group of plan type that they have. So let's look at that. Okay, so from the My Staff page, like I said, you're going to see those three options over here on the side. When I start with all staff, remember that's the drop down where I can look and see if those plan types have been started or not. You'll also see that their email is over here on the side, and you can email from this screen. If not all emails are correct in NCEES, it depends on how these emails come in. So when these emails come in, if they're in PowerSchool, we get the emails from PowerSchool. However, it sometimes comes from other system import files. And if those files are incorrect, those emails are not correct. So just before you email, make sure that this is correct email for your district. So that is on the all staff page. Remember, you can add filters if you do have large districts. You can navigate your schools, but you can add filters, and you can look at name, ID, position, demographics, email. So you can filter different ways here as well. From staff details, So this is going to give you that plan type that they have, if they have a PDP, and then from that drop-down arrow, you can look at their user profile, and you can see their current location. You can look at their school. You can see this information over here, the plan type and the PDP type here as well. So that'll give you access to that. And then from the evaluations tab, this is if you wanted to navigate and just look at a certain plan type from this screen, you can do that from this screen. So I have my late hires, and then it's going to populate everyone who has, and you can go to that plan from there. If you needed to edit that plan, you could do that. And if you had different rights, you could deactivate that plan from the screen as well if you had district administrator rights. So all of that is from the My Staff options on the side of your screen. Any questions now? Are we still doing good?
We're doing good. We have one question on how to export the chosen plan types prior to staff beginning their plans. The only way would be to run that evaluation completion report that you showed them by plan type, because that first column would say not started. And then the other option is you have to be a district administrator to go create an ad hoc report, because you can run reports district wide. You can also create that report and publish it to the site administrators, who are your principals, to run for just their school. And that would be probably a people report, and it has fields for teacher plan type and PDP type. So I would run an ad hoc report.
Okay. So just as a review, what Cammie said, that one report that you can run is from the staff evaluations page, the evaluation completion report. And remember, choose whatever plan you're interested in and choose whatever options you would like to see. And then you'll notice you do have that first column, overall status of who is not started. So that will show those. Good question. Moving on. Let's see.
Managing my.
Did I look at this? I think I did. I looked at user profile. So I looked at the up down for user profile. So district administrators, if they click on the user profile, district administrators can change this from inactive to active if they need to. But keep in mind that, make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. Sure that's on the right screen. I think I got ahead of myself talking about something I'm talking about in a minute. No, that was it. Sorry, making sure I'm on the right screen. I lost where I was.
I think you were on 25.
I was going to say, I lost it when I went. Thank you. Okay. So if you have someone in your district who you have already talked to HR payroll and you've talked to them about making sure that they have been run as inactive in staff UID, and they are still appearing on your list, but HR has assured you that they have done that. One thing that you can try is when you are on the drop-down arrow, you can, on the My Staff page, when you are looking at their user profile and you edit that user profile, remember this is only for like district admins, you can change that account status to inactive. Now, if for some reason payroll HR has not done what they need to do, they will come back the next day. But if they assure you they have done what they need to do on their part, or you've reached out to someone, another district or another school, and they said they've done what they need to do on their part, you can attempt this and it might remove the person. However, if they come back the next day, you know that those system import files are still bringing those people in at night. So after you try to, if you're getting the NCEES bulletins, I know we're sending out how to clean up your staff. This will be the next step. We'll include video on how to do this. But just keep in mind that if they are still in that system import file, that they're going to come back the next day. But if they insist that they've done that, that is just something that can be done from that My Staff and editing that user profile. When you are on the My Staff page and the Administration Staff Management page, you can go ahead and add rights to people to assign rights, and you can dynamically assign rights to do that from that staff evaluation page. And that's all in how you handle that box number 3. There are steps here. So think of, if you know that your assistant principal or someone in your school is going to have to look at everyone who has a standard plan, or they're going to have to look at everyone who's on a comprehensive plan. Rather than you having to give them rights every single time someone new comes in, you can handle that field a little differently. So when you are on the administration staff management page and you are on access rights, when you click the person's name, you'll see everyone you've assigned them rights to up here at the top. Then you can choose their site, you can choose their plan type, and number 3 is that dynamic box. Remember, if you choose to leave it blank, then it will give this person evaluator rights to every PDP from this point forward. So just keep in mind number 3 is dynamic, and if you leave it blank, but before you do that, decide, do you really want this person to be able to have these rights for this plan type for everyone coming in? So number 3 can be handled a couple of different ways, but due to time, I'm not going to show that right now. I think most of you have probably assigned your plan type, but there was a video that will show you how to do that. And Cammie, I'm going to turn it over to you because we are running out of time, and I apologize.
Oh, we're good. We're good. All right, so we're going to take a quick look at reporting. Thank you, Donna. I thought I saw maybe a question coming in, but maybe they'll get it in the next couple minutes. It's not posted yet. So there are some answers here, questions and answers that we commonly get about reporting. And I'll let you guys read through that in the interest of time. But just some questions that people have about when our staff plan activities due, when are the due dates, and what reports you could run for those. All right, so we'll go to the next slide. So quick reports. If you're a site administrator or a district administrator, you can run quick reports, and we're going to talk about where those are. This one, we're going to look at the quick reports evaluation completion exception report for the current year. This is an awesome report for you to see who's completed their training and orientation, or whatever initial steps need to be completed right now. And usually most districts try to run these for the first part of the year by November. November is a big month to run that, to make sure those initial steps are completed. In January to catch up those mid-year activities, and then in March for getting toward the mid-year and end-of-year activities, and then in May, June for the summary evaluations. So we can go look over there at quick reports, Donna, if we can go. All right, so we're going to navigate to reporting. And the first container, we're just going to look at the first container on this page, is reports. And so Donna's going to click that top drop down, and she's going to choose quick reports. And there's your list of quick reports. If Donna would click on the second one, right there is all the lists. They start with an asterisk. You're going to see reports that say current year. Those are the ones that can be scheduled. And we do have a help guide on the help guides tab to tell you how to schedule your reports. Maybe you need a quarterly report or a biweekly report or something. You can schedule those to run so you don't have to remember to come out here and click. It will just email you when those reports are ready. But here we wanted to look at the evaluation completion exception report. And then you would just click done once you select it, and it will run for you. I'm assuming we have somebody that has staff. And there we go. So there's our training staff, and it shows you every activity and their plan types. It will list what plan type they're on and whether the activity has been started, not started, completed. And then the other, I think that was all for the quick reports. I did want to show you while we're out here, Donna, if you go back to reporting, just for you site administrators on here today, if you go to reporting and then leave it on that first report, the GP status, and do next. Does it say GP status there? It's small on my screen. Yep. And then next. And then here, if you're school level, there's drill downs depending on how high a level you have in NCEES. District administrators can run for the whole district. School administrators can run for their school. So we'll just click next. And then we're going to choose the plan type to look at. just want to show you a quick way, and Donna was showing you how to run that other evaluation completion report, and click done. This also kind of does that and gives you those percentages that your administrators might be wanting. So here's everybody on that abbreviated plan type. I have 5, shows you those percentages again here. And then on the, you can drill down like Donna showed you on that other report. And on the left, if you click on your school name, it will give you an individual report for every staff. All right, and I know we need to move to our next slide probably, but just go look at that and see if it's helpful. I don't think this is a good printable report. You can print it to PDF, but it doesn't print very well. But it is a good place to get screenshots to get those percentages for your assistant superintendents that are wanting reports on who's done with what. We do have a question that came in, Donna. It says, what do we do if a teacher is still associated with their prior LEA and they aren't able to log into NCEES account through our LEA? Now, if your LEA has made them active, it won't hold them up even if the other district has not made them inactive. You need to check with your HR and make sure that they have updated that source system, the staff UID. They would call it CEDARS. Make sure they have a NCEES budget code and make sure they have an active yes. The main issue is that you need to contact that previous district. If they're still active with the previous district, they do really need to inactivate that staff so that both schools are not listed on whatever plan that you're going to assign to that staff. It does cause issue with access rights if that previous district does not inactivate their staff. But if they're not coming in with your school location, that's your district needs to check their source system. Okay, hope that helps. Let's take a look at staff dashboards and how to find some individual information on your staff. So we're just going to pop over there in the interest of time, and we'll walk through these steps, and you can refer to this slide later. So we're going to go, when Donna gets here, find system administration. You know, if you're zoomed in, it will be under that arrow drop down. So system administration, and then we're going to go to staff dashboards. And I'm going to answer this question real quick before we go further. How do we get NCVPS to not attach our staff in NCEES? Okay, so I've been working with NCVPS. Please open a ticket so that we can follow up with NCVPS because they should make them active in that source system, but they should not put a NCEES budget code in for them if you're their homeschool. So we would probably need a ticket in ServiceNow. All right, and then, okay, we're going to look at this dashboard, then we'll get to the next question. So in staff dashboards, you need to select a group. So we're only going to, there's 4 different ways you can select groups. We're going to look at the top one, and we're going to drill down. Let's drill down one more, and we're going to go to NC Test. Just click on the top NC, there we go. Should load us up some staff. All right, and then maybe click on Teacher 1. I'm hoping these folks have something. All right, so notice when she clicked on Teacher 1, it automatically on the right jumped over to individual information. Say your teacher, you don't think your teacher's been working in their plan, but they said, oh, I was in there yesterday. Here's where you can see when they last logged in. So remember, went to staff dashboard, selected the group, chose my single person, and now on that first tab, I can see when they last logged in. All right, and then the other individual information is you can look and see if they have signed up for courses. Maybe you've asked them to take a mentor course and asked them to register. Here you can come and look at their learning opportunities. And, oh, this teacher did not register yet, so she has no courses listed. This is a place to check that. You can also look at their transcripts from here. Oh, sorry, that's the, yeah, their transcripts, their PD transcripts. So if it was entered through Transfer Credit Manager, it has all these not sets, but it lists it there. It will have the office and the course number if it was a course like the mentor course created in NCEES. You can also click the blue Go to Transcript if you need to print out a PDF of their transcript. The next tab over is called Credentials. We do not use that in NCEES, so you can skip over that. And the final tab under Individual is Plans and Evaluations. So any plans that are assigned will be listed, and you can actually click here to go to those plans and see, you can see that's in progress or completed right there. All right, so that's individual information. If you've never been out there, go check it out. All right, so the next question is in regard to the colorful reports with percentages that you showed earlier, separating by plan type for first observation was the example. Can you separate that by school in the same manner? I don't think you can. You can go in there. Some of those headers are clickable and will sort. And they may sort by school, Bridget. So run the report, and then when it fills in that evaluation completion report, see if you can click on the header and see if it will sort A to Z or Z to A. But when you download it, it won't download the colors. You'd have to redo that in your Excel sheet. All right, we have 4 minutes. So what else were we going to look at? Okay, good, Bridget. She's going to try that. The course completion report. So let's jump back to the staff dashboards. Maybe you've asked your some of your teachers to take that mentor course, or maybe you've got your beginning teachers should have taken a couple courses. We're going to navigate back to staff dashboard. And I don't know that we need to go back through that, but we can do that. Staff dashboards. Select a group. There you go. And then you want to not check on any people because we want a whole group report. Go to course completion reporting on the right. There you go. All right, so here, if you're looking for an individual course, you need to surround it by the quotes. So like course number 35 was the old mentor course. It is a new number now, so you need to find your course number first. The easiest way is just to put in your course number. So if you did quote 35, quote, Donna, you can try that. All right, and then I would just skip these next parts. You can add some additional things. If you have multiple course numbers, put commas in between them, and you can put multiple course numbers. If you don't use the quotes, it's going to find every course with the number 35 in it. Down at the bottom, you want to choose what status do I want to see. Do I want to see if they're registered, not registered, or completed? The details report is going to give you a list of people. The summary report is just going to give you overall percentages without any individual information. All right. And I guess we don't need to wait for that to load up, but this is a great place to go check that for those of you that are working with professional development. All right, we have 2 minutes. What else do we have? Office Administrator Transcript Report. This is something if your district has opted into home base, this was a question that, who was that? Deborah, I think. I don't know if she's joined us today, put in the registration form. PD office administrators can navigate to system administration reports. They do not see reporting, but if you're a PD office administrator with admin rights, you can go to reporting. But under the quick reports, you can run the quick report for office transcript report, I believe is what it's called. So I don't know if we want to jump over there or not, since we only have a minute left. Oh, there's the steps. We had it on the slides. Yeah. Yep. So this is how, if you're a PD office administrator, you would go access reporting, since you don't have reporting in the top bar. And then you would say create report, and then you would come over there to the quick reports and choose office administrator transcript report. And it will run a transcript report for all your staff that you have access to. Okay. And then all the time we get questions from people that are working in your district that took a course and can't find their transcript or certificate. So Donna's put a list here of how to navigate to my staff. No, I'm sorry, my courses. Go to the My Courses container, click on the transcript button. And then once you're in the transcript, there is a column with your certificate number, and that certificate number is linked, so you can print out your certificate. All right. So the rest of this we have covered in other webinars earlier this year. Make sure if you're an administrator to join our NCEES admin hub. Got a lot of good information for you. If you have any questions about this after this webinar, since we need to wrap up and get you your certificate link, we're going to skip over these next few slides so we can finish up in a timely manner here. There's our upcoming webinars. Make sure you sign up for those. Here's your link, and I don't know if Donna can copy that and put it in the chat to get your certificate for today. And again, remember, this does not mean you automatically get credit. Your certificate will come in your email if you answer the final questions in this form, in this survey. We want to hear how we did. And then if you want your certificate, fill out the last couple of questions. The certificate will pop into your email within a few minutes. You print it out and turn it into your district for approval. And I hope we gave you a lot of good information today. I'll turn it back over to Donna to wrap us up.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.